Welcome to the channel, fellow guitarists and social media junkies. In today's video, we will be checking out this beautiful Schecter PT Standard with the purple burst finish. If metal and guitars are your thing, then you should probably subscribe to my channel, because this is what I do. And every subscription, comment, and like really helps with the YouTube algorithm, so thank you in advance. So, how I am going to do this video is first I'll go over the specs, give you some sound samples, talk about what I like about this guitar and what I don't like. Feel free to skip around if you are impatient. Alright, first let's go over the specs of this thing. Very obviously, it is a poplar Burl top on the body with the mahogany underneath. The body shape is Schecter's take on the telly, and they call it a PT. The body is a gloss finish all around, while the neck and headstock have a nice smooth satin finish. The roasted maple neck is connected to the body via the bolt-on construction method. It has 22 extra jumbo frets, not 24. It has a 25.5-inch scale length and a graphite nut. That's a nice touch, much better choice than a cheap plastic nut for sure. The hardware is all Schecter branded stuff, Schecter Diamond Standard Series humbuckers, which you will hear in a bit, a Schecter Diamond hardtail bridge, Schecter branded tuners, and the control layout is 1 volume, 1 tone, and a 3-way pickup selector. Alright, before I give you my full thoughts and opinions on this thing, let's hear how it sounds in a little mix. You might need to adjust the volume depending on how much YouTube compresses the sound. Alright, here we go. Woo! Alright, does this thing chug? Hell yeah it does. The bridge pickup in particular seems to really respond to how hard you pick. Not all pickups do. For example, Fishman Fluence Moderns do not respond to how hard or soft you pick. It's just full output all the time. But for me, the chugs are just so much more satisfying when you have to work for them. I recorded a little example going back and forth between picking hard and picking softer with the bridge pickup. Check out what I mean. Yeah, the bridge pickup for me is right in the sweet spot. I love it. The neck pickup actually sounds great too. I did record a little bit with a lead tone for you guys, so check it out. I think most guitarists, when looking at getting a cheaper guitar, think the pickups probably aren't going to be very good and I could just upgrade it later on down the road. I don't think that is the case here. Of course, how close or how far away the pickups are from the strings also affects the sound as well, so don't forget to adjust the pickup height if you need to. Me myself, I also really love the look of covered pickups. They just have a more sleek, more clean aesthetic to me. So the pickups are definitely one of the areas where this guitar shines, in my opinion. Another great thing about this guitar is very obviously the looks. The transparent purple burst on the poplar Burl top is very pleasing to look at. Some might prefer the look of the new LTD Telly over this, which is completely black around the edges and back of the body and has a pick guard in the way on the top. I much rather prefer this finish and burst, which is transparent all over the body, but it just goes from a darker purple to a slightly lighter purple. It is a more subtle burst, but I think it really works. Another great thing about this guitar is the bridge. It is a Schecter branded bridge, but this thing has a lot of mass to it. It's thick. It is similar yet different in design to one of my favorite Hipshot bridges, the Ibby HM bridge, which I have also installed on multiple guitars of mine already. But this bridge is definitely an upgrade from those minimalistic bare bones bridges you see on a lot of budget guitars out there. Definitely a great choice for the bridge. Also a great thing about this Schecter PT Standard is the neck. This neck is extremely comfortable. It is described as a C-profile neck. I can say it is a round neck. Definitely not the thinnest neck, but not the thickest either. It is somewhere comfortably in the middle. I can't tell you exactly what kind of satin finish they did on this neck, but it feels really nice. It's kind of hard to describe. It's like you can feel the wood grain ever so slightly through the finish. I think the neck is very similar in feel to my Select Custom Bella Guerre, and that guitar is supposed to have a natural poly satin finish to it. So definitely a very nice feeling neck. It is a roasted maple neck, and supposedly roasted maple necks are supposed to be much more stable, leading to greater tuning stability. Not to mention the coloring is nice too, like a caramel brown. So having a roasted maple neck with a graphite nut should definitely help for great tuning stability, which in the past was also an area where budget guitars usually lacked. Usually the tuning was all over the place. Now, I am technically still in the new guitar phase with this instrument, but I am happy to report I haven't had any real tuning stabilities issue with this guitar thus far. But that leads me perfectly to what I don't love about this guitar, and that is the tuners. Don't get me wrong, the tuners do their job. They change the pitch of the strings. They're just very sensitive. If I turn it just a little bit, it's very easy to go way past the desired pitch. So tuning the guitar can be a little annoying, but it holds tuning once it is there. Of course, that also has to do with how the guitar is set up. I always set my guitars up myself how I want them. In my opinion and experience, it doesn't matter if it's a cheap guitar or an expensive guitar, it's always going to need a full proper setup once I get it. But upgrading the tuners is something I'd definitely like to do in the future. Another thing I don't love about this guitar is the total lack of forearm contour. The new Schecter Standard Solo 2s, pictured on screen now, have a forearm contour / bevel. Why not this guitar? This is also my first time owning a Telly though. Do most Tellys have a forearm contour? I have seen a lot of pictures on the internet, but don't really play Tellys usually, until now. Schecter makes other PTs with a forearm contour. I guess it wasn't in the budget for this one. With it being a flat top body with no forearm contour, you can really feel the edge of the body digging into your tendons in your forearm while you play. I have modded some of my guitars already by putting a forearm contour on them myself, so that may be another mod I do to this guitar myself in the future. And the third thing I don't love about this guitar is the bolt-on neck joint design. Going back to the Schecter Standard Solo 2 again, that guitar has a much better, more ergonomic bolt-on neck joint design. But on this PT, the neck joint is just a block. I would much rather prefer there was more rounding or shaping done so you don't have that corner sticking into your hand when you want to go and reach the upper frets. Maybe this will be another mod I do to this guitar as well. Never done that type of modification before, so we will see. As far as the fretwork goes, the frets aren't insanely well polished, which isn't surprising at this price point. I can polish up the frets myself to be absolutely silky smooth, but there also isn't any sharp fret ends jutting out, so I call that a win. The real issue with the fretboard is there seems to be some little pieces of wood sticking up by some of the frets. Or maybe it is a mixture of glue and something else and some globs on the fretboard. Kind of weird. I don't think I've ever seen that on a guitar before. Of course, this is a budget guitar. I think I should be able to get rid of them with a little filing though. We'll see how that works out. Although the fretboard is far from perfect, it does have some rolled edges, which definitely adds to the comfort while playing. There are also some tool marks on the fretboard edges. Seems to be most of the defects are on the bass side of the fretboard though, so take that as you will. With all that into consideration, and the fact that I got this guitar for just $349 instead of the usual $399, because it was listed as B-stock due to a tiny streak in the finish you can only see if you are looking for it, I still like the guitar. No, it's definitely not perfect, like I said in the unboxing video, but should we really expect budget guitars to be perfect? Probably not. I am a little bit of a do-it-yourselfer as well, so I don't really have a huge problem fixing most of these issues myself. Ideally, I wouldn't have these issues, but here we are. So you may want to take these things into consideration before you get one yourself. It's still a beautiful guitar that sounds good, and once I make some modifications to it, it should become an even better playing guitar. And would I use it to record a full song with my band? Hell yeah, I would. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video. All related links will be found down below. What do you guys think? Do you like the new Schecter PT Standard? Would you get one yourself? Let me know in the comments down below. Alright, now let's get out of here and get back to practicing and writing something awesome. See ya.